attracts wealth and growth. It's Money Mondays on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
Show is, ladies and gentlemen, 24 minutes after the top of the hour. March is Women's History Month, of course, as we celebrate the incredible impact of women throughout history. We also recognize the often limited support given to women. Our money expert, Janai Thornton, joins us to share her top 5 financial tips for women so that they can make care and take care of themselves even while serving others. Good morning, Janai. Welcome back to the show.
Good morning, everybody.
Hey, Janai.
Janai. Let's get it poppin', get right into it, man. So what is your financial tip for women who are not in tune with their finances?
You know, I think women need to understand it's critically important that we can do hard things. We can do things that make us uncomfortable, and we have to start there if we want to get our hands around, if we want to get control of our finances. Ladies, we have to know where we are starting. It's just our starting point. Don't assign any emotion to it. Let's be clear on where we are so now we can make the changes, create the habits, have the discipline that we need to be where we really want to be financially. Let's do it, ladies.
Let's do it. Well, Janai, you know what? I love the emphasis on empowering women. But what is your tip for a woman who doesn't have enough money saved for a rainy day?
You know, Brad, women just have to start. You have to start, and you have to treat it like a bill. So let's be literal. 2 words I want women to remember when it comes to saving: automation and separation. And what I mean by that, every time you get paid, you should have a certain amount of money that goes into a savings account for you. If it's $20, Brad, that's fine. If it's $5, it's fine. Separation, it may need to be at a bank account that you don't have any online access to or a debit card. Know yourself. Know yourself. So have that money separated so you won't be tapping into it. We know how we do when we have access to that money. We keep pulling from it.
Come on now.
It's true. It's true. Janai, how would you advise women in their 20s and 30s to manage their finances?
Well, think about it this way. Your future self is counting on the decisions that you make today.
Ooh.
So 20 and 30, I know you want to have fun and you want to buy what you want to buy. You want to turn up, and you can do that. But you've got to make sure you remember you're preparing for your future today. So what does that mean? Make sure you're signing up for all the good benefits at work. You need to do that. Make sure you're saving for retirement. Make sure that you're saving, period. You have to be able to do both. You know, have your fun, but make your future a priority too. Again, your future is depending upon you.
We're chatting with Janai Thornton here, sharing her top 5 financial tips for women. Let's go to the other end of the spectrum. What is your advice for our grandmothers, our great aunts, and older women dealing with their financial decisions?
Well, y'all know I'm all about legacy planning and preparedness. So it's critically important that we have a plan to transition whatever we have. And, you know, a lot of times, Roxy, I hear from women, well, I don't have a lot. You know, I don't have much to give. Whatever you have is a lot. Whatever it is. So we need to have a plan for that. We want to make sure we have some order, too. Like, who is going to be in charge? It's not just about the assets that you have, but who is going to be in charge? That's why each generation has to start all the way over, simply because we don't have a plan for our assets when we pass away.
Oh, my goodness. Well, Janai, what is your final financial tip for women, especially as they fight against inequalities in the workplace and beyond?
Well, Brad, whether people want to realize it or not, the gender pay gap is real. You know, women still get paid less than men. And so, Brad, because we get paid less, guess what that means? We get to invest less. We get to save less. So please shoot your shot at work, ladies. And what do I mean by that? I want you to feel empowered when you're negotiating your pay. But I need you to be prepared. You can't go in there with a little funky attitude demanding what you want. Be prepared to ask for what you really, really deserve. And then, of course, Brett, we have to have a plan. We have to have an intentional plan for the money that we're making.
Because when they say no, then what?
Exactly. So let's be prepared for our appropriate response for that. You prepare for a negotiation. You understand what I mean? We don't just walk in there. We prepare for a negotiation, and we practice for negotiations too. So, you know, we want to make sure that we're intentional about that as well.
Love it. All right,
Yeah.
Janai, so we got you in the building. We want to definitely open up the phone lines. Y'all call us 866-9-RICKY. Good morning.
I'm on disability. I've been on it since 2012. 2013 was the last time I worked and filed taxes. And they said I owe taxes for 2013. But after 10 years, do I still have to pay that? Because when I went to my IRS history, it said for 2013 I owed.
Good morning. Thank you for your call. What is critical with the IRS is we must respond to every single notice that we receive. Please do not run and hide. But remember, the IRS does not call you. They only send you notices. When you get them, please call. So depending upon your situation and why you owe can determine if you still have to pay or not. So this is not just kind of a black and white, always happens this way, but you want to absolutely get in conversation with the IRS, and if you do owe, you absolutely want to make a payment plan. One more thing that people don't understand, if you are on unemployment, if you are on disability, guess what? That income is still taxable too. A lot of times people feel like just because they're receiving certain types of income, that income is not taxable. That is not true.
Rickey Smiley Morning Show, you're on with Janai Thornton. Good morning.
I have racked up a ton of credit card debt. Would it be wise to use money from my 401k to pay off that debt?
Well, listen, the timing is good, y'all. I'm super excited. I'm getting ready to release my first course, and it's actually on credit card debt. My answer is it depends. My answer is it depends, and let me just say that, because remember, that retirement money is for retirement. So when it comes time to retire, are you going to have the money that you need? So the first thing that I would be doing is, what can I do to get my interest rate down, and then possibly even the amount of debt down first? Then I'm going to determine the source of income to pay it off. Because maybe I need a whole other source of income coming in, not necessarily that I'm paying off, that I'm using one of my assets to pay off my current debt.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Rickey Smiley Morning Show, you're on with Janai Thornton. Good morning.
Good morning. I want to know what the difference is between, or what actually is the IUL, and is it worth it to invest?
Okay. So listen, I am a real fan of investing, but I believe in investing in things that we have a basic understanding of. So start with what you know. So when it comes to investing, certainly you want to begin with simply just saving, but please use all this incredible technology. Companies like Vanguard, which I'm a personal fan of, companies like Charles Schwab, they have an incredible apps, and you can buy into their indexed funds. That's what she's referring to. But just start real slow. But again, remember, investing is investing. It's not gambling. We want to do what we understand, or we want to start slow. We want to make sure we're educating ourselves so we understand what we're doing. Investing is a critical component of building wealth.
Sure is, man. All right, so the phone lines are still open. Hit us up, 866-9-RICKY, 866-9-RICKEY. We'll take more of your calls for Janai Thornton next on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Thornton, and we're still taking your questions, so hit us up if you have a question on your money game. 866-9-RICKY, that's 866-9-RICKEY. It's the Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. I was wondering about someone in their 40s that started out late. What is the best way to start saving to make sure that you get your legacy started?
Hey, good morning, and thank you for the question. So listen, a lot of us have gotten a late start, for various reasons. If you want to save money, I would start, number one, through my job with my 401k. Definitely want to put away as much as you can. Be very aggressive with that. Secondly, save as much as you can outside of work. And how can you do that? Again, think about what I talked about earlier, that automation and separation. Get money taken directly out of your paycheck into a separate bank account, and let's prepare for this next phase of life, which is retirement.
Rickey Smiley Morning Show, you're on with Janai Thornton. Good morning.
I want to know, what's the name of a good high-yield savings account?
Okay, so good morning. I think you're asking me about a high-yield savings account.
Yes.
Online banks have great offerings a lot of times. So, again, you have to be okay with your bank not having a physical structure. So please check out online banks. And then don't overlook your current bank right now. Please don't do that, because a lot of times people think it's always someplace else. It might be exactly where you are. So take a few minutes and do some research on different rates.
Hey, Janai, would you say a good high yield percentage would be interest rate, 4%, 4.5%?
Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything above that, and it doesn't sound like a lot, but it's better than nothing.
There it is.
I haven't seen much more than that out there quite yet.
Cool beans. Rickey Smiley Morning Show, you're on with Janai Thornton. Good morning.
Yes, I'm Sean calling from Clearwater, and I just want to know, how can you save money when you don't have enough money coming in to save? Like, you live in check to check. So what advice that she can give me to help me to try to save money when you don't have much to save?
That's a good one.
Oh, my goodness. Hey, Sean, only thing I can think about is the stage in my life where I wasn't saving because I couldn't save. And there was two things that I had to do. Number one, I had to look really, really closely at every single thing that I was spending. Had to be really honest about that. Number two, I had to really get focused on increasing my income. And then number three, I had to be okay with making some lifestyle changes. I had to make some changes to make sure I was pursuing the goals that I really, really wanted to achieve. So that's my suggestion for you.
That lifestyle change situation, Janai, is it. Living below your means.
Oh, my gosh. Listen, and there's nothing wrong with living simple, right? There's nothing wrong with it. And it can be just for a season of our life until we get our footing. If you don't mind, Roxy, I want to go back to one of the previous questions that somebody asked, because I misunderstood what she was asking me. If you remember, Rox, she was asking about the IUL, the Index Universal Life Insurance.
Yes.
I approached it like she was asking me about index funds. Now, Roxy, this is my personal philosophy. It doesn't have to be anyone else's. I don't use life insurance as an investment vehicle. I let insurance do insurance job, and then investments do investments job. Now, there are other people who believe completely differently from me. So I'm all about doing your research. You know that saying, trust but verify. Do your own research and see what works best for you, not just because someone is selling you something. Want to make sure that you understand what you're putting your money into.
Good point. Love it. Love it. All right. Well, thanks for your calls. Janai, if people have more questions for you, how can they find you?
Please, you can always reach out to me on social media. That's at Janai Thornton. That's JINITHORNTON. And please check out my podcast, Think Me Later Show with me, your host, Janai, on Apple, YouTube, wherever you listen to your podcast. All right, everybody, have an amazing Money Monday today.
Appreciate you, Janai. Thank you so much, Mike.